Welcome to my channel. I'm Hanifa Barnes, creator of Podsnaps, productivity architect, here to talk today about the 3 stages of your day and the things that impact it and ultimately your time. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. Here's a snap. Ever wonder why during the course of a day you feel these different levels of energy, certain ones in the morning, a certain type in the midday, and a certain type in the evening? That's because there are 3 stages to a day. It's the peak, the trough, and the recovery. And during the peak period, you have your most energy, you're in your best mood, you can power through all types of tasks. During the trough, however, that's usually around your afternoon slump where you're just a little bit slow, your mood is a little shifted, and you're probably a little sleepy. And nearing the end of your day, that is the recovery period where you feel a slight shift in your mood, but your energy is still pretty much at a steady state, and you might be able to get in a few things on your to-do list if you really tried. Now, there are 5 things that can impact your day and the stages of your day. The first one is your chronotype. Your chronotype is the biological clock that impacts your sleep and wake cycle or your circadian rhythm. What you will find in looking at chronotypes is they're usually defined by certain animals. So if you're an early person, you're either a lark or a bear. If you're a night person, you're probably an owl or a wolf. And if you're kind of a variable type person, just depends, you're more like a dolphin. Now, chronotypes can shift based on the cycles of your life, your age, what's going on in your external environment, even the internal environment. And what I find is most people are trying to really hard to be a lark, which is an early riser, which is great. But you have to know this will shift. What's most important when it comes to your chronotype is consistency. So if you're a late person, you like to stay up late, wake up late, maintain that cycle so that way your peak performance is consistent throughout the same time and part of the day. Food is the second thing that can impact the stages of your day. How are you eating? What are you eating? Those are the questions. And when I say how, are you eating small meals, multiple small meals per day, or are you eating 1 or 2 large meals per day? Are you eating your heaviest meal during breakfast or at lunch? Those questions matter when you think about your ability to be productive and perform, especially during that peak period of the day. Also, try to avoid excessive caffeine and complex carbs and sugars throughout the course of your day because that can end up being a fake high that can then send you crashing. Your pre-bedtime routine can also impact the stages of your day. So if you're a person who knows that you go to bed at a certain time, think about what's happening just before you lay down. Are you drinking caffeine? Are you drinking alcohol? Both you may want to avoid because they result in sleep fragmentation, breaking up your sleep. Do you have to take certain medications? And is there a time that's most optimal to take it so it does not impact your sleep? Are you a scroller? Are you looking at that blue light an hour before bed or any time under that time before bed? Because if so, you're impacting your natural production of melatonin, which helps you to sleep. Low-level productivity is also an impact to the stages of your day. And what I mean by that is actually tackling all of these small little bitty tasks during the peak period of your day can be somewhat exhausting because you end up going from one task to the next, to the next, to the next in an effort to quantify your productivity when you should actually be qualifying your productivity during your peak period. So it's really important to save those little tasks for probably the afternoon or non-peak period part of your day so that you can use all of your capacity, energy, and strength during peak period to focus on those big tasks. The last thing that can impact the stages of your day is limited or improper planning. If you haven't set out to look at your schedule over the course of the week, over the course of the day, if you haven't really thought about what your meetings should look like, what you should get from them, if you haven't set out agendas, if you haven't done kind of the pre-work before any big project, presentation, or discussion, then you will be scrambling during peak periods or the course of your day to get that stuff done just before. It's important to note that we all go through the 3 stages of the day. We do it at different times of the day based on our chronotype. But what is important is ensure that we're doing the things pre and post and during to maximize those periods of the day, especially the peak time.